Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight with Chapter 19 of Fing by David Williams. And tonight's chapter is called Flying Sausage. Are you ready? No, the deadliest animal in the world was not Myrtle. But as Mr. Meek was racing towards certain doom, his thoughts did flash to his daughter. In his mind's eye, he wanted to conjure up a pretty picture of her before he died. Although, however hard he tried, he just couldn't find an image of Myrtle doing anything remotely nice. Myrtle didn't do nice, but she was very good at nasty. All kinds of images flooded into Mr. Meek's mind. Myrtle snapping the Christmas tree in half when she didn't get enough presents. Crunch. Myrtle stamping on the snakes and ladders board when she was losing the game. Stomp. Myrtle shoving her entire birthday cake into her gob in one go so no one else could have a piece. Myrtle punching a hole through the television set when her favourite cartoon ended. Thump. Myrtle cheating on school sports day by making her mother drive her around the racetrack. Brum. Faster, faster. Myrtle deliberately flooding the entire house when asked to hurry up in the bath. Splosh. Myrtle eating all her mother and father's books when they were encouraged. What is that? When they encouraged her to read one. Munch, munch, munch. Myrtle holding her headmaster upside down and giving him a bogwash when she was giving a detention for giving her teacher a bogwash. Flush, flush. Myrtle setting up a stall outside the house to sell every single one of her parents' possessions so she could buy herself a roller coaster. Myrtle wailing so much for Mr. Whippy that the ice cream van actually toppled on its own side. Well, no, the deadliest animal in the world is not Myrtle. It's a elephant. This is, quite simply, a flying elephant. How does it fly? With its trunk, of course. I thought that would be obvious. If you had studied the Monsterpedia, you would know. The elephant's trunk is unusually long. When the animal spins it round fast enough, it works exactly like a propeller. What could be more dangerous than a flying elephant? Nothing. If it crash lands on you, you are jam. On hearing father shout, the elephant woke up with a harumph from the riverbank where it was slumbering. Elephants always wake up with a brumph, because however much sleep they have, it's never enough. On being woken up, the animal wanted revenge. So with a spin of its trunk, it took to the sky. Buzz. How does an elephant steer? With its tail, of course. The tail works as a rudder. Come on, this couldn't be more straightforward, you know. Mr. Meek heard a loud buzzing from above. A shadow passed over him. He looked up and saw a huge, fat, flying sausage roaring through the sky, blotting out the sun. Oh! But before Mr. Meek could say "Cripes," the elephant hooked him up by his trousers with one of his tusks, giving him a nasty wedgie. "Shantishmore!" cried Mr. Meek, as he was plucked up from the back of the honkopotamus and whisked up into the air. The Monsterpedia wriggled around in the back of his trousers in an attempt to escape. Meanwhile, the Fing simply bit harder onto his finger, closing its one eye in concentration. Boom, titty, boom, titty, boom, boom. The pain was indescribable, so I won't even try other than to call it indescribable. "Let me go!" screamed Mr. Meek to the elephant. Then he looked below him, and it was a long way down. "Actually, keep holding on to me, please. Thank you so much." The end of Chapter 19. It's getting funnier. Of Fing by David Williams. Flying Sausage. Here on the Lights Out podcast. Bedtime stories for boys and girls and elephants around the world. Good night.